is your full name?
Linda Gail Glass. Edelman. Do I put Edelman? My maiden name or just my married name? Linda Gail.
That's what it is.
Linda Gail Glass.
How did your parents come up with your name?
My mother had picked it out. Daddy said, "What are we going to name her? Dorothy Nail?" And Mama said, "No, Linda Gale." She had it.
What did your dad say?
Dorothy Nail.
And Linda.
And she said, "Yeah, they rhymed on that." She said, "No, I'm going to name her Linda Gale." Dorothy's already in the family. Eva's daughter was Dot. Dorothy, and they called her Dot. And she said, "We can't name her Dorothy." And so she said, "I've done got her a name. I'm going to name her Linda Gale." Okay.
Okay. What comes to your mind when you think about growing up at home? At your home?
Good memories.
Like what?
Learning to work. Having fun with my family. My nieces and nephews that live close. My church. The times that we eat together. Got together and ate.
What was your hometown?
Coleman.
But what's the area called that you're... What's the area where Ma Edelman's house is?
Oh, Simcoe, Berlin. Simcoe. Now she's between the two. Mission Grove. Just put Mission Grove Community. That's what we call the road that we turn on. So, Mission Grove Community.
What did you love to do as a kid?
Skating. I like to go skating. Movies.
Okay. Who were your best friends growing up?
Gosh, I had a lot. Jana Kraft. Carolee Type Miller.
Who?
Carolee, Carolee. Carol Lee, and Type Miller. Spell. Put Dorothy Adams. That'd be easier to spell. Judy Gardner.
I can hear you because of the clock.
Now this is just in our community, some of those. But Jane and I went to school and we were real good friends at school.
Did you have a favorite teacher at school?
Yes. Miss Oakes. She was my elementary teacher. And then, do I have to give a high school teacher or just...
That might be later on.
Okay.
What was it about the teacher that you liked? And did they have an impact on your life?
Not really. Can't say she had an impact, but she was real sweet. Miss Butler was she was my first and second grade teacher. She was an old maid, and she was just a little bit ill sounding. Miss Oakes was her name Miss Mitchell that was there at Simcoe. Miss Oakes might have been at the high school. Might have been Miss Mitchell is at the high school. Miss Oakes, I believe, was the one that Miss Oakes. She was just real soft-spoken. She was sweet. And that's just what I remember about her. She just had a softer, sweeter voice, not so ill-sounding.
Okay. What were you like as a child, and how are you still like that now?
Bossy. Does that sound like Momo?
Yeah.
Well, I'm being truthful, aren't I?
Yeah.
I had to boss Harold. I tell him he wasn't working hard enough and he needed to be doing more. And he'd say, and I said, one time I told him, I said, girls work harder than boys. He said, how do you know? Mama, she told this, was out in the garden. And Harold said, how do you know? And I said, because my daddy, he was one time a boy and he don't work as hard as my mama. I was kind of, mostly just bossy, I guess, and wanted my way, I guess. But with Barbara, me and her was always getting ill at one another. But she always had to get the last lick. She'd run, chase me all over the creation to get the last lick if we got to hitting one another. But, so I'd let her get it. I wouldn't, that stubborn. But I didn't want nobody running over me. But I was a little on the bossy side with all of them.
Did you ever get in trouble when you were a child?
Now, in what way?
Anyway.
Well, we'd get in. Mom would get on to me and Harold for fussing and one another, and Barbara, Olene would be the one to whip us. Me and Barbara would get into it, because, see, she was older than me. I was her aunt, but she was older than I was. And she was, Olene says, well, if I whip everybody, I'll get the right one. So we'd all have to line up for. Sometimes it'd just be me and Barbara, and we'd flapjack. She'd give us a hickory, and we'd have to hit one another. And if we didn't hit one another hard enough, she'd hit us. That's how she broke us from fighting and fussing.
Didn't Harold chase you around the tree hitting you with a stick?
Oh, he tied me to a tree. We played cowboys and Indians, and Jim and him was the cowboys, and I was the Indian. They tied me up, and they slapped me and hit me, and I was screaming, untie me, and I was crazy enough to let them do it. And then they was ugly, and Mama come out and got on to him, told him to untie me, and she gave, I don't know if she whipped Jim, she got Harold a couple of licks. But she told him he better not do that again. But, we was all the time having our little fussing and fighting, arguing. We didn't beat one another up, but if we done anything, Harold would go tell on us. He was our guardian, watching what we was doing. Me and Jim and Barbara.
What was your favorite meal growing up?
Fried chicken, creamed potatoes, Mama's chicken gravy on it, and sometimes she'd make, instead of potatoes, she'd do rice. But she'd bake chicken, and I like fried chicken and the baked chicken. She made the gravy, the chicken gravy. And I liked everything. There wasn't much I didn't like, because we was lucky to get what, back then, the adults ate, and then they'd call the kids in. We had to stay outside, and then they'd let us come in. And we was lucky to get a neck or a back or a leg or a wing or whatever was left. We didn't get breast, thighs. They got the good parts, especially if we had company. But I liked it all.
What did you remember most about your childhood?
When Daddy got me my typewriter for Christmas. He was home for Christmas, and he had got Harold a bicycle and me a typewriter, and it was so special because, and I like my Red Riding Hood doll too. I got it first. So I don't know. That's the two biggest Christmases that I remember. But Daddy was disappointed because me and Harold was watching. We knew he'd gone outside, and he went outside to bring him to the front porch before it got so dark. And we was looking out, and he got on to us, and he said, well, you just spoiled your Christmas. He said, y'all won't get nothing no more because y'all not supposed to be watching. He got on to us, but we did.